Rojas was once held captive by the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC. That hardship lasted for about 6 years. She nearly died in childbirth, only to have her son taken away. CCTV's Michelle Begue spoke with a Congresswoman about the ongoing peace talks and efforts to end 50 years of armed conflict.
Congresswoman Clara Rojas, thank you for giving us this interview. The first question is, how sincere do you think the FARC's search for peace really is in light of this recent attack?
Pues yo le diría que desde nuestro punto de vista no.
I would say from our point of view, no, when they are perpetuating acts that don't lead to peace. But trying to understand their point of view, they are trying to use all of the tools of fighting, politics and arms, to reach an objective. Unfortunately, what they have done recently is completely reproachable because it is exactly what we want to end. That is why the nation has been so turned off. What we have to do next is pressure them to make decisions and make gestures of peace. Not like what they did most recently.
The peace process is stuck on the topic of transitional justice and disarmament. On the topic of transitional justice, whether the FARC will pay or not for their crimes, what do you hope will be negotiated on this topic?
Pues es el más crítico porque ya el Congreso de la República expidió una ley.
It is the most critical topic because Congress has already passed a law a couple of years back called the Legal Framework for Peace. This law opened the door for a transitional justice and also allowed for the possibility of accepting a peace agreement with armed groups like the FARC, but it does not allow pardons for human rights violations, including kidnappings. The FARC has said they don't accept this legal framework for peace, so we have to be receptive to what they don't agree with. What I believe is that we are in a critical moment. The government should take to the FARC their proposal and convince them to accept these conditions, accept some kind of alternative jail time, and accept their responsibility. The FARC will have to take a position on that, and that is what we are waiting for any day now. All the scenarios are possible that this peace process breaks or they pull through.
There's a strong opposition to the peace process. What would you say to those people and their demands?
Pues entender que hay que hacer un esfuerzo.
Understand we need to make an effort. We cannot let our pain impede the evolution of society. That is why I believe the victims have been the most generous. And you don't always see that in other peace processes around the world. Here in Colombia, there has been an extreme generosity because the violence has simply been too much. So we look for alternatives to solve this conflict. Without a doubt, the solution isn't with more clashes. What we are trying to prevent is another act like the one we saw a couple of weeks ago, where the president had to tell the military to keep fighting, and we hope it won't continue to escalate.